What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Market Consulting channel. In today's video, I want to talk with you guys about a really important topic that I think is super under talk these days, and it's about money. And so, at least in the West, for most part, people are kind of scared almost to talk about money, um, or they're scared of like entrepreneurship or of people who, for example, like charge money for service if they're like an entrepreneur or something like that. Let me explain that because you might be like, yeah, well, I don't do that, but let me explain. So let's say you have a friend, hypothetically, and this friend does social media, like he just wants to be an influencer, etc., etc. And or let's even imagine like let's imagine you know an influencer, you know him since he had like 2,000 subscribers on YouTube and a couple thousand on Instagram, and now he's like really famous. He has like hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram and on YouTube as well. And now he starts to sell something. For some reason, your respect for this YouTuber will probably just go down. Like you might be like it doesn't even matter if the product is good or bad. Like that's a story for another day. But like you'll just be like, well, now he's trying to sell me something. And then when you watch his YouTube videos, you're just like, is this really good? And like, and then you'll see the prices of him, and you're like, nah, this can't be real. And maybe that's not you, but this is at least from my perspective what I can say how most people see this. Like people see it as something bad when people charge a lot of money for something. But I want to break this belief kind of down with you guys in this video. So let's say you charge for your martial arts classes currently 50 bucks per month, but you're thinking of upping the prices. Well, let me explain why you have to up the prices even. So let's say you charge 50 bucks, as I said, and someone signs up for a class, for like monthly classes, right? They sign up, etc., etc. They come to your school, they train, blah, 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 all of that good stuff. Now, if they do this, they only pay 50 bucks a month, and so they're going to perceive it as classes for 50 bucks a month. No, the value of this has to be above 50 bucks per month. Like, the value of this has to be like 500 bucks per month. That's pretty obvious, I think. Like, always try to have like the value of things should always be like 10x more than the price actual is, because then, well, people are just going to think like, well, I only pay 50 bucks for this, but it has this, this, and this. Pretty cool, right? Now, this doesn't always have to be the case, but I think it's like a helpful tip, but take this with a pinch of salt, so to speak. And why you essentially have to charge more is because people are just going to perceive it as something better. Like even if it's this exact same classes, if you charge instead of 50 bucks, 150, 200 bucks for it, whatever, even 300 bucks for it per month, people are just going to be like, bro, that's like, that must be a really good dojo. Like that must be really like a almost like luxurious dojo, so to speak. And now there was this experiment once where they gave people three glasses of wine. They said, all right, this is the cheap wine, this is the middle priced wine, and this is the expensive wine. And everyone told them, yeah, the expensive wine tastes the best, the cheap wine tastes the worst. There was the sum average of this experiment. And now what we can learn from this is that the wine was always the same. Like the cheap wine and the expensive wine were the exact same, but people perceived that the expensive wine is better than the cheap wine. So at the end of the day, it's the same with your martial. It's essentially at the end of the day perhaps the same with everything, but specifically with your martial arts class. Like the more you charge, the more value people are going to see in it, even if it's the exact same class. But let's break this down. Let's say you charge 50 bucks right now, but then you start to charge 300 bucks. Well, if you start to charge 300 bucks, what will happen is that you will think, nah, that's too much, I can't charge 300 bucks. And then you'll be like, oh, boy, what would I have to do so it would actually be worth 300 bucks? And then you think, all right, I could buy like extra equipment for the guys, or I mean, I could get like new mats or whatever it is in your case. Like you just upgrade your location, maybe you upgrade whatever. You really train your instructors more. You really tell your instructors, right, we're charging more now. Let's really try to give them as much value as possible, right? And because you now give them more value, you're going to get more students at the end of the day, because they're going to refer more people to your school. Because yeah, it is expensive, but you have better classes, and so people are more likely to refer a friend to you. Instead of you charging 50 bucks, the classes are alright, they're good, but let's say you charge more, you directly think, alright, how can I make these classes worth that much? And so the classes will just be better, and so everything will just fly well, and you'll just get more students at the end of the day. I hope that this lesson does make sense, but like at the end of the day, you have to charge more. And let's say you're buying something. I mean, you know this yourself. Let's say you buy like a program for $50. Program for like you buy a software for your dojo, like an internal software, and costs like once $50. That's it, right? And then you buy the exact same software. Everything is the exact same, but this time you buy it for $9.97, and then it has like a monthly fee of $4.97, whatever. Like you will just perceive the more expensive one is better, even though they're the exact same. It's like it's just because it's more expensive, you just think like, well, this one must be better. Like the other one, nah, it must be fake, even though they're the exact same. Now, as I've said, this might not be completely the case for you. Totally understandable, but this is how it is for most people, I would say. And also, like when you charge instead of $50, $300, for example, per month, like okay, you might not sign that many students, but when you sign one student, you have signed essentially the monthly revenue of 6 students. So instead of then having to sign up 6 students, you can only sign up 1 student. And now, who are you going to be able to teach more to 1 student or to 6 students at the same time, right? And you know, all right, this 1 student is paying $300 instead of 6 students who each pay like $50, and then yeah, you're training each student, but you would rather probably train like 1 student for $300 per month, and then you can really focus on this 1 student. Yeah, let's wait for this empty lens until it should be gone now. Yeah, but that's already everything for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, there is a link in the description. I'm now going to pitch you my program. There's the video of me explaining how we can help you get more students. Check it out or don't, if it's up to you. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.